I have a book that is called A Perfect Mess, which is actually a very apt metaphor for my life. It's a book of stories, but it also walks through a lot of the Psalms. And so I pick out 12 different Psalms and use life stories, life metaphors to help illustrate that Psalm, but also to give readers a way to engage with Scripture. Well, what a cool thing for us as believers to read this psalm that isn't about some perfect person who did it right, but who's bemoaning something. Well, yeah, I can identify with that. That reads more like a diary than something that I'm supposed to memorize that's very rigid. Then, of course, there's the psalms that are about dancing before the Lord, and I have no rhythm, but there are days that I can't help but dance because I'm elated about something He's done in my life. Then, of course, there's psalms that record weeping. Well, sometimes what I've seen in the church is we have a tendency to pretend like, oh no, I'm fine. How can I pray for you? As if we admit the fact that we're struggling, that we're having a hard time, that we're barely putting one foot in front of the other, it'll somehow hurt God's reputation. Well, that's ludicrous. To have a psalm where the psalmist is weeping, to me, gives us a platform to say, yeah, I'm having a pretty tough season too. I need to pray, and I need to remember that God says He is my rock. So I just love the relevance of the Psalms. So that's what this book is about. I've been in vocational ministry since college, which, just 3 years ago, for about 25 years. And one of the things I've seen really since I was a kid, raised in the church, is the church tends to be the pretty place filled with beautiful people who have no problems, or they pretend to have no problems. I've seen that all throughout vocational ministry. Just about everywhere I go with women's retreats, I meet wonderful women who have lived under this oppressive assumption that I have to pretend like I have it all together. I can't have French fries on the floor of my minivan. I can't think a bad word in traffic when my kids are screaming. I have to fill in all the blanks of my Bible study, and my purse has to match my shoes when I go to Bible study. And that's just not reality. Reality is some days are really hard. We are a mess. We need a Messiah. And so I love the Psalms because the Psalms are not a sanitary book. It's a messy book. The psalmist expressed every emotion in the human continuum. They cried, they fussed, they praised. And so to me, the problem in Christendom is we need to be more honest with each other, certainly with our Redeemer, with our Creator Redeemer. Over and over again, I think it behooves us to say, I'm a mess, I need a Messiah. So this book I wrote on the Psalms is called A Perfect Mess: How Our God Adores and Transforms Imperfect People. Because, of course, the perfect mess is a play on who God is. He is so perfect, so merciful, that in spite of us being messy and mistake-prone and prone to wander, He adores us, saves us, redeems us, and calls us to Himself. That process to me is beautiful, but I also think it should be honest.